Hello everyone! Today I am doing another randomly generated project, although this time it has nothing to do with the internet. It's a little bit more physical in that I'm actually doing it for my tarot and oracle decks. Uh, I started my interest in tarot with a YouTube video that came out in 2014, so it seems kind of insane. It's been 8 years later, but I've had time to pick up lots of decks since then, and now I got 48. So we're going to randomly generate which of the 48 decks I'm going to pick a card from, and then we're going to pick a single card from that, and I'm going to make something based off of that single card. We'll see how it goes. I got the random number generator right here. We're going to generate a random number. So out of the 48, it wants me to do 24. 24 is The Secret Language of Color. That's a fun deck. So The Secret Language of Color is, as you can probably guess, is solely just about colors. Let me get the deck right around here. Compared to other decks I've had, this smelled like apples when it first came out of the pack, and then it delightfully retains some flavor. Barely, but it is such a beautifully done deck. It's basically, it picks a color, and it as an artist, I'm always very interested in how color is. So now I'm going to choose one particular card, and I'm just going to wait for something to fall out. Two decide to fall out. So I've got Rainbow, Connect to Spirit in Nature, or Lilac. And Lilac, Strengthen Your Faith. Lilac is a flower. It's a rainbow, so I guess if I were to make a project out of this, it would kind of be like a mostly lilac object with the rainbow theme inside. Obviously, it'd be like a pastel-y type of rainbow in order to make it work. Gotta think a little bit more about what I could make with this. So it's basic. All I know is that lilac background with a rainbow detail. Because both cards came out, so I gotta use them both. See how that goes. Alright, so I was doing one of the mindless tasks at work, and I figured out how to combine the the purple color, the light purple, and the brilliance of the rainbow in the same object. So I have a children's book that has a little hand clutch, and the hand clutch is the project that's just there in order to introduce the kid how to do the yarn overs. And I think it's also how to do beaded knitting as well. But I also have a lot of colorful sequins. So my plan is with the colorful sequins to either sew them on, or which is something I've never done before. I've always just glued them on. But if it's fabric, I probably feel more comfortable sewing them on, or seeing if I can knit them on and just put them in a bunch of colors. And I mean, I've had them for years. I haven't really used them for any other purpose, so I probably should find a purpose for these things. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a little handbag. And by handbag, I don't mean purse. I mean a I don't mean a huge tote thing. I mean a purse that you have to hold in your hand. I just went and knitted the clutch. So here's the clutch. I have yet to add things to it. The pattern actually called for a darker part underneath the second color, so I just chose a darker purple so I could really emphasize the purple, which I know is there just so it can it can accentuate the yarn overs. Although it is kind of flimsy, it wants me to do one button. I'm deciding whether I want to stick with one button or if I want to do 2 buttons, so that way these like corners don't curl up. So the lavender part of this is largely done. All I have left to do, like crochet wise, is making the loop for the button and sewing the button on. Now for the other part, I have sequins. So I have all these sequins and all the lovely rainbow colors. So I'm gonna try not so much use the rhinestone parts, even though, I mean, wow, blingy, so bling. But I'm gonna try to pick some sequins and sew the sequins on in as close to a Roy G. Biv formation as I can. Now the reason why I have so many sequins goes back to college. For college round 2, when I was actually going to art school, and by art school I mean art history, but every so often there would be like a art supply store advertising right in the opening forum area, and one day it was AC Moore, and I went up to AC Moore while wearing my Blick shirt, which I got from the time Blick did this, and they were like, oh yeah, we'll give you all these art supplies to make something. The only thing you have to do is promote us on social media. And to be quite honest, I never held up to my end of the bargain because I was terrified of social media at the time. Still kind of terrified of social media, but less terrified now. But one of the things they gave me was a bunch of sequins. They also gave me like a hot glue gun and a bag and some fabric paint, which that I decorated for Mom. But I never really had to use the sequins until now, so it's going to be exciting to like choose and figure it out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sew the sequins on, and fortunately the book that I got the pattern for this from and another pattern explains how to sew on sequins, which is good because it's something that I've never done. So I'm gonna put this together, and then that way I'll have a clutch and it'll be pretty nice. I finished the bag. I sewed on the sequences. I decided on one button because when I went through Mom's button supply, I just found the one button. It's like, that's it. That's the button. That's the one. That's basically a good method for like any tarot pick a card reading that you watch on YouTube. Basically, instead of like focusing on like just like which card has my message, it's like, all right, the first one that draws my eye, that's the message. It wouldn't have drawn my eye otherwise. So I sewed on the sequences for the first time. I ended up using like 4 pieces of sewing thread in order to do it, and it's a bit strange. I'm not crazy about how the white thread pulls off. Maybe I should have gone with the black or maybe more of a lilac, but this accomplishes the rainbow lilac mix very, very well. And I was able to get like enough of a Roy G. Biv esque look. Like you can tell, like you look at it, you know it's a rainbow. It's not an exact rainbow, but you get the idea. And I have a new clutch that combines like those 2 cards. It's pretty nice. Anyway, that was today's entertainment. Have a nice day.